You know, this was really a tale of 3 different hunts. I was surprised by the country there. It was so green and lush. I pictured New Mexico to be a lot drier and more arid and open, but where we were hunting, boy, it looked like a rainforest in a lot of places. You know, in the first part of our hunt, right from the get-go, we were into animals. We were into bugling elk on the 1st of September. I had never been into them like that before. They'd always been a little silent for me in the opening part of the season, but here in New Mexico, boy, they were vocal as heck right to start with. After pinpointing where this bull was bugling from, we homed in on him over about an hour period and finally started getting close to him. We got closer and closer, and I could make out more of him and more of him. My knees started shaking more and more, and my hands started shaking more and more. I could hardly range find this sucker. I'd range him and I'd get 50 yards, and I'd range him and I'd get 35 yards, and I'd range him and I'd get 40 yards. I couldn't hold my rangefinder on this sucker. Finally, when it came time for the moment of truth, over his back. That was Heartbreak City. That was a beautiful bull, the best one I'd ever had a crack at, and he was gone, and he was a perfect opportunity. Fortunately, there'd be a lot more opportunities to come on this hunt. It wasn't much longer later, and we got into another one. We crept in on him and got closer and closer and closer. We got up to about 30 yards from him, and 20 yards, and he was up, and then he laid back down, and he was up again, and the last time he stood up, he faced us, and he whirled and took off. We couldn't get him to stop, and he was gone. On the way up this Jeep road to our hunting spot, we turned the car around, parked it, get ready so we could just hop back in when we got done with the hunt, and wouldn't you know it, stinging flat tire. So right now our elk hunt revolves around waiting on AAA because I got a flat tire going up the Jeep road, and the new flatbed that I had put on my truck, they did not put a hole so I could lower my tire down. So I have a perfectly good spare tire that I cannot get to, and so hopefully I'll figure a way out of this mess. In the next few days, Mother Nature took over. The rains came in and it was miserable. It was unhuntable. We actually had to pick up our camp and move out. The rangers evacuated all the campground. The roads washed out. They had a grader, 2 front loaders in to clear the road. It was a complete mess, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen to our hunts. After Mother Nature gave us a little bit of a break, we were out after it again. In a couple days it had rained over 5 inches, so now we're battling high creeks to cross and muddy trails and sloppy conditions. But fortunately the elk started moving again and making a little more noise, and we were back into them. Close one. On the last day of the hunt, the elk started making some noise again, and we were able to hone in on them. We followed a couple groups around for a while, kept getting buggered by the wind here and there. They'd run off, and we'd hear some bulls bugle off another place. We'd go across the canyon to them. We'd hear them across the canyon. We'd cross the canyon again. We were putting on some miles, and finally we started getting close.
That's him.
We found him. Sounded like a good hit. We looked at the footage, looked like a good hit. So he was a heart shot there. He didn't go very far and went down. We got a big old pull to get him out of here off this mountain, but it'll be worth every step. I'd like to thank Chris Harris from S-Bar-S. He helped me point me in the right direction up here and gave me a lot of good advice, and told me where I'd find him, and that's where I found him. Also, Mike Jenkins of Upfront Outfitters was a huge help in my New Mexico research, and I couldn't have done all this without him either. So a lot of people's efforts went into it, and I appreciate every bit of help that I got and every bit of help that I'm going to get them off of here. But this is one of the greatest achievements of my life. Getting a bull like this on public land, do-it-yourself hunt. Let's get him off the mountain.